Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I hope so. I hope we're on the same page about this. Howdy folks, welcome back. And if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name's Laura. Today I'm working in my studio making this tiny vise. This is what it looks like right now. You know, the deadline for this is coming up. I've got today and tomorrow to finish it. I haven't looked at this thing in like 2 weeks. And so I'm re-familiarizing myself with where I'm at the same time as I'm familiarizing you where I'm at. So let's figure it out together. I have to remake this thing because this part wasn't wide enough, but I just want to make sure that I make clearance. See, look at that. You know, so that's about as tight in as it can be. It doesn't leave a lot of room. I have to make a little end cap that's going to get soldered onto here. And that's going to have obviously a stone set in it. You know, it's going to be the same size as this stone. So I think that that's a good like kind of bookend to have. And then I still have to make the, you know, if we're saying that I'm making a vise like this, you know, with this is the threaded part, like I still have to make this and these things and then set the stone. So let's see how far we get today. Let's get to work. Hi, okay, so remember I said that I was gonna remake this part? Well, I stumbled across this, which I'm sure you remember this is, you know, I cut this off of this. This fits perfectly around there. You can't even make that up. I feel like I might as well use it, or else it's probably just going to be in the scrap bin until I trade in my scrap for fresh material or melt it down myself. So, you know, it's like, I'm like, well, this is great. And so I will just cut this to that, you know, distance. Like, I think it's going to look great. I'm very proud of myself. Anyway, so I found this little tiny piece of 18 gauge sheet, 16 gauge sheet. I don't know. Are we even gauging things anymore? I have no idea. But yeah, it's just going to get soldered on like that. I just wanted to update you that I wasn't going to be doing the same construction that I have for the last two. Like, it's kind of, I'm just reusing something that I've already made. Okay. Whew, guys, we're almost there. I was gonna say we did it, but we haven't completely done it yet. But we're very, very, very close. So thank you for tuning in and sticking it out with me and keeping me comfy in my studio and giving me the motivation to make this tiny tool, because if it weren't for you, I don't think I would be doing this anymore. I don't know. Maybe just take that. Take it. And know that you're making a difference and you're making me get into my studio, which I do enjoy. This has just been like a lot of stress because of the time crunch, which I'm sick of doing. I mean, I guess there's always going to be deadlines for everything, but I'm just tired of running up to the wire. And I didn't even run up to the wire because I still have all day tomorrow to finish. So let's just look at where we're at. So I just finished soldering this and it looks good. It moves. I had been worried about the solder that I used to solder. I didn't want this solder to reflow and this solder. I mean, I didn't think that this would reflow, but I didn't want this to reflow, especially because it could. Can you imagine if this all flowed and then it was just like a big mess? You know, there has to be enough space in here for this sheet. You know, this is going to be cut down. We'll cover that in a second, but it's got to fit in there. And so it does. But I didn't want it to not. You know what? It worked perfect. It was fine. I probably didn't have anything to worry about. But anyway, so that's that. And then we already know, we already know this, I think, here. And so let me put this together. You got to kind of fiddle with it until the threads catch each other, you know. Oh, that's satisfying right there. What do you think about that? What do you think? You want to buy it? It's for sale. Or, well, for auction, remember? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And then, you know, this is going to eventually be the cap that's going to go over here. And I'm going to be making another thing like this, right? Except for it's going to be longer. You know, instead of stopping there, it's going to go all the way to here. And it's going to be glorious. Glorious. That's what I got to do tomorrow. And then I got to set these 3 stones. You know, I've got my 3mm CZs ready to go for this. And then I've got this guy here. This is going to go right in there. And that's going to be fantastic. And then I've got my nuts and bolts ready to go because that's going to be a bolt. And, you know, there's going to be 3 bolts on here. And then once I finish this and it slides into place right there, you know, in the style that this one is doing, it's going to be bolted on 3 sides as well. Really is something, you know. I did it. I can't even kind of believe it, but there it is. Wild. But we've got cleanup work to do, we've got stones to set, and we've got, you know, to finish that last little end cap. And that'll probably take all day tomorrow. So I'm gonna stop, dump my footage tonight and eat some dinner and rest up. And we got a big day in the studio tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing you then. But thanks as always, like I already said, for tuning in and sticking it out. And I love you so much. I can't even tell you how much joy and purpose it gives me knowing that I'm sharing this with people that are interested in what I'm doing, interested in my metalsmithing practice, interested in miniaturizing tools that famous people make on the internet. I don't know, but just know that you really make a difference in my life, and I love you so much. So I hope you have a good night. I will, and I'll see you next week with a new video where we finish this thing. All right, I love you. Bye. Mwah! Why didn't I just choose to make a vise like this? Like, maybe it would have been easier. Maybe not. Maybe I'll make this vise next year for Repair Days. But anyway, so when I was soldering this, I was like, oh my God, this is soldered with easy. What if when I'm soldering this reflows and it all becomes one big mess? And so I shoved a bunch of yellow ochre in there. And I don't know if it's maybe this isn't the right size. Like, I don't know, but it's really not worth it for me to force it. I'm sure you agree. But if not, it doesn't matter. Should I use hard? Should I use what should I use? And so I ended up going with medium. I probably could have done hard, but it like wasn't worth it if like I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove to you. Like I can probably solder better than you. If you can solder better than me, tell me in the comments. Yellow ochre, I rarely used it when I was in school. I just didn't. It's not like a badge of honor. I just didn't. And I've been using it more and more. It's my best friend now. Me and yellow ochre, I'm telling you. It's going to be my maid of honor. Anyway, so I shoved a bunch in there and I put this all the way up here and I, got it all yellow ochred, all this, a whole mess. I don't know. Like, it's not a competition. But anyway, so, I just am doing the best I can. And I'm sure you are too in everything that you do. And so it's just like, this was me doing the best that I could and like making the best decisions. Like, oh, I'll do that with easy because I really don't want it to anyways. And so then